So I want to ask you this. Do you have, I know out of all the years you've been a doctor and a pediatrician, you must have seen vaccine injury, even if you do view it as something rare. What vaccine injury story have you seen that really stood out to you in your mind?
When I was a fellow here at Children's Hospital Philadelphia in the early 1980s, I saw a child who got polio from the polio vaccine. And it actually it affected him to the point that he was paralyzed, and it really affected me. Because I knew that there was another vaccine out there, even though we didn't have it available in this country at the time, and so it sort of shook my faith at some level that we would still be giving a vaccine that caused harm, that knowingly caused harm. I mean, we knew that when the Sabin vaccine was first licensed, which was as a series of 3 different strains between 1961 and 1963. I mean, very quickly there were data coming out of Russia and other places that this vaccine had the unique capacity to actually revert to what immunologists and virologists would call neurovirulent virus or wild-type virus. I mean, it essentially caused polio. I mean, that, even though it was extremely rare, the fact is we had another alternative, the inactivated vaccine, and that really, really upset me. And when I was finally asked to be, first of all, I wrote a book about it. I mean, and I wrote a book called The Cutter Incident, and what I talk at some length about that. And you know, I saw myself, I know this is not going to be what you would, I see myself as a vaccine safety activist. I mean, I asked to be on the polio working group so I could make that change, and it was a fight to move to finally the inactivated vaccine. But there was a lot of pushback on that because it was much more expensive. But there was no price. You can't do these sort of cost-benefit analyses. That was just bullshit to me. If a child is suffering needlessly because of that vaccine, I don't care what the cost is. If there's another vaccine that is safe. So was I allowed to say that word on the radio? I can't remember.
Yes, this is Freedomizer, man.